Hey everybody, this is Calvin Waite. I trade crypto for a living. I'm not a registered or licensed financial advisor, planner, or broker, so nothing on this channel should be taken as a recommendation to buy or sell. I also trade all of these things, so I probably have a vested interest in there. But there's plenty of entertainment value and lots of education, so this will be awesome. For those of you who didn't know, my subscription channel is live. So look at the link in the description over at cryptoinfluencers.com and you can see how I make all of my trades and what I do and what I think about everything. This channel is for more hypothetical and looking at trends, and the other one is for actual trading, so you might be interested in that. All right, I'm back. It has been a long week. Vacations at the Calvin Waite house are insane. Very, very, very busy. Lots of whiny children fighting each other and everything else. It's the test of the family bond, and we did it. Yo, boss, double E, nice. Thank you for joining. Okay, so yeah, we went to a safari park in San Diego. We did Legoland and Universal Studios and hung out with some family we haven't seen for a long time. It was good. But a lot can happen in a very short period of time in crypto, and we're seeing some changes happening. First of all, I did want to mention on my cryptoinfluencers.com, I know everyone's been putting their addresses in. I'm a little behind on giving out my $25 per day. So let's go ahead and give out $25 to the first, like, what should we say, like 3 people. The first 3 addresses in chat will give you $25 in Ethereum, and we'll get going there. But yeah, so this is the free channel, so you should definitely at least subscribe here. Here's the chat if you want to ask questions and things. It's getting better. There's a little more chit chat going on, which is awesome. And I'll pop in there a little bit more now that I'm back. This is the pro channel in case you want to learn how to manage risk and make this happen. If you're tired of gambling and losing, you know, the pro channel is about figuring out how to spread it out and manage risk and be patient and do the things that will actually make you money over the long term. We kind of ignore a lot of hype and a lot of the insanity of the day-to-day stuff and go for the big moves. Okay, let's dig in. Well, cool buddy and Blue Sky, thanks for being here. Thank you for welcoming me back. I've missed you guys. Okay, I want to start here. I want to start talking about potential alt season. Look at total 3. So this is all altcoins minus Bitcoin and Ethereum. Yesterday's close, we exited a red zone. I can't tell you how important it is. Exiting a red zone on any time frame usually gives you probably whatever the time frame is. It'll give you probably 30 to 40 or to 30 to 60 to the upside. Candles, whatever it ends up being. And when you exit a red zone on the daily, as long as it sticks, we're looking at maybe a month or 2 of upside. And if we can get there, let's see. Yeah, so if all the altcoins are finally starting to pull out of their red zone, things could look pretty nice. The last time we did this was back at the beginning of the year, January 23. And alts went on a pretty good run. On the pro channel, we hit a lot of doubles and triples. We made some good money on the way up here. And the chance of doing it again is right in our face. Oftentimes, when you come off the bottom of a bear market, you don't usually even see red zones. So if I go back to like Bitcoin and zoom way out, once you're done with the bottom of a bear market, it's green, yellow, green, yellow, green, yellow. Last bear market we came off and we had green, yellow, but we did have a period of red during the COVID thing and all that, but then we're back to green and yellow as we go. And so right now, I'm expecting green, yellow, green all the way to wherever we're headed. That's just the way this market looks. But when you take out Bitcoin and Ethereum, we got a lucky red zone, which is awesome because that means that there is this is a high probability trade. I mean, there's a very good chance that alts are going to start taking off here. And boy, is that overdue. You kind of see it in the alts as you kind of scroll down and see the formation of everything. Most of the alts are coming off their bottom and they're starting to exit their own red zones and everything else. So it's starting to look pretty good. Imathi, you are one of the winners of $25. I see your address on Facebook, so nice putting that in there. Anybody who else wants to drop their Ethereum address, I'm going to give away $25 to 3 people. So the first 3. Blue Sky's asking, are there any no KYC exchanges left? I believe even KuCoin went KYC. Yeah, the only one that I think is still going is Mexi. I have not KYC'd over there, and they're letting me trade. So that's, I think, the last one. Of course, DeFi, you don't have to KYC. So as long as you've got crypto to start with, that's kind of the challenge. And then you can go from there. But yeah, so this looks pretty good for all season. If I go to the others, so this is microcaps, they have been out of their yellow zone for quite a few weeks now and slowly working on these resistance zones. The 200, the 100, we're kind of chopping through them. And by now the 50 is held pretty well. So this all looks pretty nice. If I go to others dominance, this is another case where we are exiting the red zone. So we're above our 50 and we're exiting. That means the percent of all crypto that make, the amount of altcoins that make up the percentage of crypto is starting to get a little bit larger. So a little bit more money is potentially going to flow into alts than the other coins. So that's actually pretty awesome. And then finally, one of the best tests of whether an alt season is going is the Ethereum to Bitcoin ratio. And what we have here is we have the potential that we're going to be putting in a slightly higher low. Moving down this strongly, usually it takes a little bit of work to change the direction of our momentum. And we put in a low here, and then we bounced pretty good. So that usually defines a certain selling climax. And then when we popped up, we've come back down and we may be turning up again. And if we turn up here, we will have a higher low established, and then things are looking good. So if you invert this, this becomes kind of the bull trap. So this is the bear trap. This is the bear climax, and then if you get a higher low, that's the bear trap. So all these bears are going in low here, but they aren't able to overcome this and push it down even further. And then that turns it around. So this feels like the very, very beginnings of an alt season as well. So if I go to, let's see, there was a pattern that I saw. Oh, Bitcoin dominance. So Bitcoin dominance is the other side of this coin. When Bitcoin dominance drops, that means alt season is here. And look what's going on. We had our Bitcoin dominance climax here at about 52%, and then we've pulled back, and now we're kind of struggling with the 20, and it looks like we're about to lose it. This is our bull trap. So our momentum is actually decreasing to the upside on alts, and alts are about to go. Today, we're starting to see a pretty decent move because it looks like Bitcoin is negative. It's down about $100 right now. And then we have Ethereum, which is in the green. So we've got a red Bitcoin and a green Ethereum. So things are starting to change. Okay, so that's kind of that's probably the exciting news that's going on. I'm thinking that yes, so big leagues, my analysis is that there's a decent chance that alts have bottomed out, that we're probably on our way up. Barbarian, welcome. So yeah, if anybody wants to pop their Ethereum address in chat, we'll get you at $25 of Ethereum. We have 2 more that I'll give out. Okay, let's talk about Bitcoin though. Let's just kind of see what's going on. The one thing that you notice on this chart, there is a stripe in the middle of here, we may start a green zone. A second ago, when the Bitcoin price was on our line, it was not a green zone, because you can see how close. Actually, I don't know if you can see it super well. There, see how it popped off? It's because our 50 is about to cross the 100, but they're almost exactly the same number. So if Bitcoin ticks up a little bit, it pulls the 50 up just a hair above, and then we're potentially starting a green zone. Otherwise, it flips back to white. But tomorrow, we're guaranteed. Like, there's practically nothing that'll stop this 50 from crossing the 100, and we're going to be starting a green zone right now. So green zones are good. That means that all of the averages are lined up. You've got your 20 on top, you've got your 50, you've got your 100, and then your 200 down below. So this market is looking good. I know it's been pretty boring going sideways, but the thing is we've had a chance to drop off. So this is where my analysis of Bitcoin gets a little bit more precise. When I see a high here, or excuse me, a low down here, and then we have a stronger impulse that pushes the low below this point, that means that this is a potential place where we could really get wrecked. This is where this move up could have gone down right here, but it didn't. So now this is what's making me bullish on Bitcoin, because this day right here, this was July 6th. I was not very thrilled about this performance, because we ended up with our highest intraday high of the year, and that was 31,500. We had just passed our prior one by $70. Yeah. So this was our highest intraday of the year, and then we pulled all the way back and had a really ugly red day and closed below our higher candle body over here. This all feels like one move, so I know you could kind of point to this. And intraday, there is something here, but yeah, I'm kind of ignoring this little red swing here because it's all part of this move. It ended here. So our pullback really pulled us back to here, and then we got a new high, and then we got a lower low. So this is usually where, if there are bears in the market and if people are fatigued, this is where this kind of can compound. But the fact that we ended up pulling back up, and yesterday we closed above our 20, this is actually looking pretty good. And today we are showing support on the top of our 20 and potentially starting a green zone. So it actually looks really good to me. I think there's a lot of strength in this market. It's taking a little patience. So if I zoom out to the weekly, this is our 2.5 year long line that we've been watching very carefully. And 2 weeks ago, we closed with a tiny candle body just visibly above it. Last week, we just barely closed below it, but nothing has fallen apart. Like, nothing has broken down really intensely. And so now we're actually pulling back up, and the longer we stay here, it's just a matter of time. This baby is ready to go. So it's really looking nice. Appreciate that, love. Hope the vacation went well. Back to work. Yeah, back to work. Sadly, in like 2 weeks, I've got another one, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm just really looking at this, and we're just waiting. Like, when we hit this line, it was like, I don't know if it'll be a month. I don't know if it'll be a day. Things could break out really easily. And but yeah, nothing's falling apart here. In fact, things are getting a little bit warmer. Our 100 is coming down pretty decently, 32,349. I'm telling you, we're probably not going to find any resistance here. And then we have our 50 coming up here. Our 200 is all the way at almost 27,000. And when this 50 crosses the 200, man, it'll be the first golden cross that Bitcoin has ever made. And this is an actual golden cross. I know people are excited about the 20 crossing the 200, but that's not a typical classical golden cross. You want to have a 50 above the 200. So anyway, we are probably, let's see. Yeah, I mean, we're probably a couple of months away from that happening. I would say maybe even 3 or 4 months before that golden cross happens, but believe me, it'll be all over the news. That'll be a big event. So Bitcoin's looking good. I don't see any issues here. The only thing that is weird is that we see a lot of tops. I'm seeing a lot of long candle tops, especially these last few. So it is a little odd that we're pulling back so much. It feels like there's a group that's trying to keep us in a range. Oddly, you know, from kind of following Glassnode and some of these other analysts, the thing that keeps pulling us back, it seems to be miners selling. I'm not sure where on earth the miners have any incentive to sell, but if that's the source, I mean, that makes sense because they have they have probably the most Bitcoin to disperse if they are in that mood. I'm not sure who's bullish or who's bearish in a market that looks this good, but yeah, I mean, this looks phenomenal to me. I don't know who'd be really trying to take profits right now. So yeah, just a matter of time. The BlackRock ETF and all that business, I'm seeing news that it could be about 30 days out. So I'm not entirely sure. Normally with that kind of news, it's not a buy the news event. It's usually a sell the news event. But there are fundamentals that if it does get approved, there could be some money that flows in, but probably early. It'll probably be the first couple of weeks. And then things will kind of, you know, lull a little bit from there. All right, Big League says, do you think the stock market will hold up? And also, do you think we get some good entry prices for alts? Yeah, I think our entry price for alts is like right here. Yeah, go back to the beginning of the stream when you get the chance. There's a lot of evidence that an alt season is happening. So almost, you know, when all the alts start really looking good, it becomes, I call it dartboard season, because anything you buy will go up. If Bitcoin breaks upwards and Ethereum follows, the entire market's everything will be green. Like there will be nothing that is going down, you know, unless it's really weak. Unless people are like, I'm missing the boat somewhere, so I'm going to sell off my Pepe coin or something like that. So anyway, that's my opinion on that. Peter Schiff is bearish. Of course he is. All right. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at with Bitcoin. It's just a matter of waiting. Like the way we have held strength up here is phenomenal. Very, very happy about it. Normally you would expect to come back a little, and we've had a couple of attempts, but they've all been bought back up. And then we've had many attempts at a breakout, and I think people are trying to hold the reins back because we don't want to get this chart looking too vertical. If we get too vertical, then we're going to get punished for that. So the longer we can actually go up and do this measured, calm, collected move upwards and come back for support and all of that, we're in good shape. So we don't always, depending on the enthusiasm of the market, we may not come back and find this line as support. Ideally, if we did, that means our bull market would have even more legs, but that also gives you a lot of confidence. You know, if we break out, there's probably a chance to get in again here. So I know people get overexcited when things start moving, but we'll see. It's going to be a pretty fun ride once we get there. All right, let's look at the Ethereum chart and then we'll wrap it up. Okay, so Ethereum, weekly declining channel here. We had a breakout upwards to our line, rejected off the line, but only came back to confirm support on the other side of this. So Ethereum on the weekly is looking awesome. Ethereum's ready to go. And I think we're seeing some of the evidence of that on the daily where we're exiting at red zones and things on the alt season. This is a setup for alt season. This is likely to go up. And once we break this line, it is going to be stars, man. It's going to be awesome. This number is 1935. We closed on it a couple of weeks ago. 1937 was our close. We've retreated down to the top of our channel, and now we're going to pull back up. If we get up here and break it, it's going to be a vertical week. It's going to be probably a couple $100 move. So that looks awesome. And then on the daily, things look a little bit interesting. We have this inverted head and shoulders that has not found its target yet. We'd kind of pulled up and found support on the top of our breakout line, but then we fell apart. I think this was the same day that Bitcoin did that weird move up and then move down. So this kind of messed us back up. We're back in this range again, but we had a counter body confirm the bottom of this range again. Like we've really defined this range. So if we get up out of it, it'll be very, very clear, very obvious. And how we came back down to the 200 over here for support, it kind of makes the most likely chance of moving upwards. So we've hit our 50, we've hit our 100. We're now just barely resisting on the bottom of the 20. Bitcoin's climbed above it, but Ethereum has not quite yet. But you can just see how this market is just so ready. It's so ready to go. It's kind of incredible that we have so many, like we've had to be so patient through all these moves. But man, when it happens, it's going to be awesome. Very, very awesome. So anyway, Ethereum is really starting to move. You know, we've got highs, higher lows, higher high, higher low. Our next move should be a higher high, which I'm expecting. If we break above this, we'll probably hit 2,000. And then if we really break, we could get going here. So should be interesting to watch. Barbarian says, do you mind looking at Casper? It's been lagging. Yeah, some have been lagging. Some have done well. I'll look at Casper. I'll just grab some random ones. So here's ENJ exiting the red zone on the daily. Axie is just about to exit the red zone. You see how this is just kind of like SHIB is just touching the 50. It's ready to exit the red zone at any point. Like there are so many of these that are just starting to get there. There are some that have broken out. BCH is the winner. Like this guy has really gone up a ton. It 3x'd up to here, and for the past few weeks we've stayed above our 100 week moving average. So if I look at the weekly, look at this. Like there's still legs on this thing. So there's probably another push there. But yeah, that was obviously the highest performing, but we've got quite a few that are doing all right. Storage decided to reverse course. All right, so anyway, there are a lot of alts that are just really on the cusp of breaking out. They're messing with their 50s. They're really close. We just need a spark to ignite this thing. And so let's look at Casper. Yeah, Casper is pulling down pretty strongly. We've got a death cross coming up pretty soon, and we just lost the 50 week. So there's a lot of things wrong with this. Yeah, just entering a yellow zone here. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever is going on here, I don't think the bleeding is done yet. I definitely like to look for strength, so I would be waiting pretty patiently. This coin has been rejected from kind of the 20 for the past few months, and I would wait for a close above the 20 and hopefully some kind of a structure underneath us to show strength. Yeah, but this one doesn't look like it's done bleeding. Interesting stream so far. Thanks for this. Considering to buy some bags today. Yeah, you know, and my non-accredited financial advice is it's always smart to go small. On the pro channel, you'll see how small my trades are. I keep it a very small percentage of my portfolio, and that allows me a lot of wiggle room because when things go my way, it's enough that it's cool. You're like, hey, making some money, this is good. But when things go wrong, you're like, man, I'm glad I only put in that much because now I still have capital to recover from it, and you can kind of negotiate the market a little bit better. If you find yourself putting larger orders in, you're going to eventually it'll bite you, and you'll be stuck in a position, or things will just go wrong. Most hedge funds and things will never put more than 1% of their portfolio in a single position. And my only exception to that is that I put in larger positions in Bitcoin and Ethereum, but that's it. All the alts, they're just a fraction. I'm not sure what the exact percentage is, but it's like 0.1% of my portfolio or something. Is pretty small. What is an indicator that the top is on a coin during the bull? Yeah, if you get a lower high, that's usually that is the bull trap. So if you see a nice high and then we get a pullback that's pretty strong, it's usually strong enough that it scares people, and then we come up and make another high and it ends up being lower, this is the bull trap, and that's when you know things are about to hit the fan. So we're pretty far away from those times of the market. The other thing is that when alts get really vertical, so if alts are if they're up 20 or 30% a couple days in a row, the season's almost over. You better start looking for an exit. So we haven't seen that for a while. Alts, let me just go back up to the micro cap, market cap. Alts really moved early in the year, and then they've been lagging. And in fact, they've pulled back a lot, especially when we had that selling climax back June 10th. But now we're kind of pulling back up again. We're actually showing strength. We're actually building. There's good structure here. And a breakout is coming. It feels like it's getting there. Like within the next month, we'll probably see the start of a pretty decent move. I guess I've just been amazed at how many days above the 30,000 mark Bitcoin has given us. That's what really has been amazing to me, because see, this close is above 30. We've only had one close below 30 since essentially our buying climax. Look at how many days this is. We've had 19 days where only one of them was below 30,000. There's a ton of strength in this market. It has not fallen, and the reason it hasn't fallen is because no one's willing to sell, and if a climax comes, people are buying it up. I kind of expected that to happen. Where would you buy Solana if you had to? Could you check the chart? I'd be happy to. Solana, here we are. Where would I buy Solana? You're a little late. I think I entered my position right here. It's about 17. Whenever we start breaking out of a significant, we start breaking the earliest averages, that's when I start getting a little bit hungry for these things. Exiting the yellow zone is a great spot, especially if you've got a higher high established. The first indication that Solana had a bottom was when we had this selling climax. High volume candle with a really long support wick. It was almost a given that we were not going to go below this point. And now we're moving up. The cool thing is once we broke the yellow zone, we came and hit resistance on the 100 and the 200, came back with perfect support on the 50, and then we broke above. So this is looking pretty good. It's a little bit mature in its move, but on longer time frames, it's still early. Look at this chart on the weekly. There is a decent chance. I mean, just from a chart structure standpoint, there's probably a level of resistance right here. And that was confirmed back here. So we had resistance, broke through resistance again. So this could be a challenge to get through, but look how we've done this. We've had this perfect line where we've had support here, support, major break, resistance, resistance. If we get above this line, it will be a full change. But even on the weekly, you can see, here's our swing low. This is the bear trap. And now we're moving up. And look how close we are to exiting the yellow zone. And the cool thing about Solana is that these are big numbers. Like, if we break out of the yellow zone right at like 23.5, just going to our first resistance line is 100%. Like, this could double so easily. So, yeah. But the thing is, it's not unique to Solana. A lot of these coins look like this. Ave, yeah, Ave's threatening to exit the yellow zone just now. Its resistance is here. Look at that. And break out of the yellow zone to hitting resistance, 55%. There are a lot of these that have done an amazing job creating beautiful, beautiful structure, and you can tell that they're just getting hot over here. You can only consolidate for so long before you break up or down, and if you've done a long drop and then you've consolidated for a sizable amount of time, I mean, this is like a year of sideways. The upside is about to come. It's going to be awesome. That's why I've put almost made my entire portfolio is in longs. In fact, I think it is. Yeah, every single position I have is a long. And so I'm just waiting because the market's going to go. And alt season is way overdue. One thing you can think about when you're looking at alt seasons, if you go to the others chart, on the weekly, the biggest alt seasons obviously are these large moves, right? But they usually come in these waves, and it's been a while. We've pulled back. The top of the season here was 2021, and you can usually, even these little ones are you'll get some kind of an alt move. So even though this lasted a month and a half, this was still a pretty decent alt season. This obviously was a big one. This one was our January one, so we all experienced that one most recently, and that was a pretty good move. But this next one, really, it could start breaking some of these resistance. It could be another one of these larger alt seasons again, and they could move. Like, it could make some good money. I missed the FTX drop to $8, looking for another entry. Oh, on Solana. Yeah, I'm already locked and loaded. I don't know how many more drops we're gonna get. Any drops at this point, I mean, it's tough to say. Like, where would it drop to? You could get potentially a 20% discount if we had another drop. I don't think we're gonna get below our low here, and that's a 30% discount. So I don't know. I mean, you can make 20% if this thing sneezes to the upside. So I don't know. It wouldn't be too bad of an idea to put in a small bag. But that's, obviously my non-accredited financial advice. So yeah, that's kind of, it's just going to be dartboard season, and it's not going to matter if it's Solana or something else. When this market turns around, everybody's going to be a winner, and everyone's going to think they're the smartest ever, and it'll be the professional traders that end up closing their orders and actually selling at some point, while the rest of the market is like, holding their breath for higher and higher and higher, and then they'll get crashed, and then they'll get scared, and then they'll be waiting for higher, and then they'll ride it all the way to the bottom. That's how that works. Okay, Barbarian, what about percentages? What does the measure of a coin usually do in a full bull? Around 1,000%. Historically, it depends on there are coins that will, but on average, the entire market goes up maybe 3x. About 300% is what we have seen in the past. I will pull up others' dominance, and we can look at some of these moves. Some of these are pretty big, I have to admit. Well, the 2016 to 2017 was... yeah, this was really, the alt seasons that happened here were insane. I'm not sure if we'll see those type of numbers again. But here's an alt season that happened, intra. So this was a 200x, or 200%, I mean. So that means a double, or triple, excuse me, triple. This little move here was a double. And then when the bull market happened, it was a pretty good run. Almost quadruple here. Yeah, this was the biggest move. This was 1,000x. But I don't expect to see this until we're deep into the actual bull market. I'm expecting potentially after the halving. So, but you can see that it's been a while since we've had a good move. Like this little move, 52%, not very much. This move was our most recent one, and it was like 80%. That was the beginning of the year. And now we've kind of come up off of a selling climax a little bit. It's like 25%, but this move's not over. But you can see, what are we waiting for? We're still in the yellow zone right here. This is on the weekly. Things are really going to start happening when we exit the yellow to the white. And look how ugly the structure is back here. We went all the way up to here before we exited the white. And then we needed to find footing, and that's where we had all this here. But we've already found our footing. When you find your footing below the mark, you're setting yourself up for a sweet run. So we've already found footing below, and now we're just hugging the 50 week. It is so close. We break that, and it's going to be a fun like 3 months. Like this could be a solid move. So yeah, I mean I've got my bags packed. I'm ready to go. Blue Sky, do you use any decentralized exchanges? If you do, which ones? And can you do a tutorial on that if possible? Well, there are a lot of DeFi exchanges, and there are plenty that will kind of snipe you. Like if you put in an order, they'll read the blockchain, put in an order with a higher gas fee, so they beat you to the exchange. And then they sell during the same block with a lower gas fee. And so you can kind of just get wrecked out of your position on DeFi. But you know what I love to do? I just love to use MetaMask. If you use MetaMask, their technology, they pretty much, they try to hide your transaction until it's about ready to publish. And then they submit it right before that happens, and it avoids all those bots. And they have access to all the different exchanges. So when you just use MetaMask, they will choose which DeFi exchange has the right liquidity, and they'll mix it all up. And they do all the hard stuff for you, and you usually get a better deal. So yeah, it's simple. You just go to MetaMask and you do swap, and you just buy what you want. But yeah, I do use them sometimes. So like if I want to keep my, well, let's say I've got a larger purchase and I want to move some like Ethereum into a stable coin or something, I'll just use DeFi because the markets are very liquid, and I can get it done pretty easily. Yeah, so I mean there's probably not enough there to do a full tutorial, but if you have a question, you can hit me up on chat and I can help you out. But yeah, I mean this is amazing. I mean this structure on this weekly is phenomenal. Jacob, how's it, brother? Nice. Welcome to the live stream. It's funny how I have no idea who's watching these things, and I run into people and like, hey, I've been watching you. I'm like, oh really? You still remember who I am, huh? It's kind of cool. So that's awesome. Yeah. So there we are. That's pretty much today's video. We are just really in a holding pattern, and I mean Bitcoin on the weekly kind of tells the story. We've had a really nice move. We're looking at about 3.5 weeks ago, we had this super awesome move, and now we're just going sideways. And what's awesome, when we were going sideways here, we were sloped upwards, and then we had a little pop, and then that was it. I'm loving the fact that we're sloping downwards. This is what we want. A little bit of a slope downwards. When we finally break, we should get some good movement to the upside. It'll probably be a little better than this little move. And this one was 7%. So, man, what I'm most excited about is when you have a line this important, 2.5 year long support and resistance level. Like, you don't want to just blow through it and ignore it. The fact that we've hesitated on this thing for like 4 weeks is so awesome, because all we're doing is putting fuel and gas in the gas tank, and the longer we sit here, the more fuel we put in, and when it breaks, it's gonna break. It's gonna be awesome. All right, so we have Ithmi and Nemik both put Ethereum addresses in chat. If somebody puts one more in, I'll give you another $25 of Ethereum. If not, it's all good. I think I'm all done. Rafatum. Okay, cool. We got all three. I'll send you all $25 of Ethereum. Thanks for being here, you guys. And I'm sorry for being on vacation. as if my life wasn't a vacation already. I had to go out and do more stuff. But anyway, all right, we'll catch you guys, and we'll be back on schedule. I'm excited for the Pro Channels video tonight. We've got a lot of changes to do, so we'll have a good chat tonight. All right, you guys, we'll see y'all. Thanks for being here. Thanks for making it to the end of my video. Make sure you keep those trades small. Don't force a trade. Don't get impatient. And if you want to see how all this works, please come over and check me out on the subscription channel at cryptoinfluencers.com. Again, the link is in the description.